Self-love is the best drug. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. What's good, guys? You already know. It's your girl, Tone, with another episode of Shades of Tone. So welcome back, guys. Let's jump right into it. Today's episode is women versus men. Now, I put this there because I feel like this is going to be a bunch of episodes to come. We can always revert back to this and continue it because we can go back and forth with how women this, men that, or men don't do this because of that, women don't do this because of that. And I put something on Facebook recently that really sparked the attention of a lot of men. Like, all of the responses damn near were men. I think it was maybe one woman that responded. And the post was basically saying that women are staying single because men aren't men anymore. Or should I say that women were staying alone because men weren't men anymore. And they just went off. They feel like men are staying single because women only want them for what they have. And I think that if we think all the way back to the old days with our great-grandparents and all of that, like, you had to court a young lady. Like, the man actually had to come to the house and ask for the father's blessing. They might have brung a cow or a mule or whatever the case may be. Don't quote me. But yes, you were not going to get my blessing to take my daughter, first and foremost, if you couldn't provide and take care of her. So I do feel like, in a way, yes, it is a double standard. But as a man, I think that they feel the best when they can provide and do everything that they want to do for the woman that they love. Now, granted, if you don't want to do those things, then of course you're going to be miserable. And I would hope that you wouldn't do it. Don't do anything that you don't want to do. But I do think that it is kind of in men's DNA to want to provide if they can, when they genuinely, care for a woman. Now, another truth is that some men aren't interested in filtering through the ones who are using them for said things to find the ones that are for them. And it's unfortunate, but it's a crappy ass world out here for both parties. So again, we have the women that are adamant in finding a basketball player or a rapper or, someone in politics or whatever. And honestly, I do feel like we should be realistic in what we require or what our standards is for the opposite sex and who we want to possibly spend the rest of our lives with. But to each his own. If that's what you want, girl, go ahead and get it, because it is out there. I do feel like if it's genuine love, so be it. You can have in your mind that you want to be with a basketball player. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to trap said basketball player. You just want to date basketball players and, stuff like that. That's just like saying you like brown skinned men, so that's all you date. So I don't really look at the field as, being like a gold digger or whatever like that. I do personally feel, I don't care if, I was to marry 50 Cent or whatever the case may be. I'm my own person, and I have to have the freedom to be able to move how I want to move. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't stay home and take care of kids and all that stuff, but I'm writing a book. I'm doing my podcast, my voiceover, something while I'm in the home. So yes, I will take care of home and the kids and stuff like that because that's what I want to do. But I also need that freedom to know that Tone is still Tone, and I am still an individual outside of being a wife, a mother, caregiver, and all of those things. But if you're sitting here and you're being flashy as far as men's concerned, like you ever go somewhere and you see a guy, he's literally flashing all his money, like that's literally the guy that I'm going to avoid the whole night. It's nothing that you can say to me or anything because you're doing the most. And to me, it's a turnoff. I don't like people that's overly flashy. You know what I mean? Like, yes, look nice, take care of yourself, be clean. most importantly. But I don't care about knowing that you have all of these racks in your pocket or whatever. And I mean, I'm an independent woman, and not saying that I don't like to be taken care of or wine and dine or whatever, but I don't need you to show me that as a reason for me to speak to you, because, you know, to me, it's millionaire men out there. They're celebrities and everything, and they're just not my type. That's not what I would go for. That's not what I'm about. I respect them. I would even say that I'm proud of them for following their path and doing what they dream to do and all of that stuff. More power to them. But just because they're those people don't mean that I'm going to jump out the window and do the most because that's them. No. If they were regular people, I wouldn't say anything. Well, not necessarily that I wouldn't say anything on the street, but I wouldn't give them my number on the street. So why now, because they're this person, I'm going to give them my number? As friends and chilling and all that stuff, of course. But if you were like interested in me, attracted to me, like, I just wouldn't want to entertain that. And I mean, I'm open to the fact that, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover and stuff, but, you know, for the most part, if you have a type, you have a type, you know. And I am in love with beings. So I'm not going to sit here and say never and all of that stuff, because I'm open to whatever is for me. I am for whatever is for me. So, you know, it all depends on the situation. But we also have to understand that sometimes people could be quick to leave because they want the easiest road or least resistance. And sometimes that applies to men a little more, because it's like, I don't want nobody that's giving me no shit. You know, we all know men that, or people that are in relationships, and you know the others cheat, and they consistently cheat. They're serial cheaters. But we also know that the other person ain't going nowhere. And so be it. If that's your type of love and you're okay with that, then whatever rocks your boat, baby. But me personally, you know, I can't go for stuff like that. Now, it's different if we were into the same things. Maybe I was into women too or something, then, you know, that's a whole nother story. But if we're dating, you should know what to expect from me. I should know what to expect from you. You should know what my boundaries are. You should know what I am for and what I am not. You should know what I may be open to, what is an absolute hard no. Like, you should want to know these things about people. And that goes back to a previous episode, when people are all on this convenience and all of that stuff. So automatically they feel like, you know, you're supposed to, you know, just meet somebody and have sex with them, and now we're together and all. You don't know this person. You know what I mean? And it's like, not to say that we're not here to procreate, and if we don't do nothing else in this life, it's to push on the human race. I totally get that. But, you know, if we're cohabitating and stuff like that, like, I need to know that I won't possibly be on an episode of Snapped. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of seen the best of both worlds. I grew up around beautiful women, fly, you know, wore the best of things, and only messed with like the big dogs. And, you know, me and my sister had matching clothes, everything down to the socks. We weren't even twins, but you thought we were because of the way my mom dressed us. Like, we had two of everything. We didn't share nothing. For Christmas, if she wanted to get us doll houses, there were two. It wasn't one. We did all of that stuff. But, you know, was seeing, you know, the struggles that my mom may have endured with the lifestyle that she chose early on. I literally did the opposite of that. I dealt with men who didn't have much, or at least less than me, to prove to both of us that I was there simply because I wanted to be. Now, after the years passed, I realized that that was kind of counteractive. Because I do want stability, you know, I do want to be able to rely and depend on my significant other. And a lot of the times, with these particular relationships that I had back when I was younger, that was not the case. You know, this would be, you know, a person that was just horrible to me, and I still would just stay because I'm like, you know, I don't want anything from them but to be with them. So like, why not? You know, personally, with my bonus grandfather and my bonus dads, yes, I had several. I grew up kind of wined and dined, you know, always taking us out to eat and buying us stuff, taking us to the movies. I can't tell you how many times I had to have gone to Six Flags Great Adventure here in Jersey as a kid. Like, we would ride every single damn ride. My bonus dad was literally a big kid. My other bonus dad would literally knock on the door, and we would have have bags of clothes from our door all the way down into the parking lot. He didn't miss a beat. All of us, every single one of us. And it wasn't an outfit or two. It was a whole school wardrobe, like 15 pair of pants, 5 pair of sneakers, 30 shirts. Like, he went out. You know, they really showed that they cared for us and they wanted us to do our best. And it's like, look, I'm giving you whatever it is that you want. Just do what you have to do in school and all of that. And even though, my mom dealt with, had trials and tribulations with relationships and all that stuff. She brung dope men around us. Like, even though they might not have been my father, I was able to literally learn so much from them. You know what I mean? Literally give me $500 to just go shopping, because it's like, I don't think because you're not my daughter that I don't love you. I would do for you what I would do for any of my blood kids and all of that stuff. So I genuinely appreciated that. Even with my stepmom, she's done so much for me that, my mom and my dad don't even know. Like, my bonus parents, period. They've done things for me, and I have different relationships with them and different type of relationships with them than my actual parents, because those are my parents. And sometimes parents get stuck on, well, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I do this, I do that. It's different when it comes to bonus parents, because those bonus parents, they don't look at it like that. They come to you in a different sense, and I could really appreciate that. My bonus parents have held $10K for me. You know what I mean? Just sat on it for me until I needed it or until I asked for it, because, I didn't want to spend it, and it might not have been the greatest idea to maybe give it to a sibling or, my biological parents. So, I totally, get that. But even with that, I know I was supposed to be treated this way, but I still didn't want a man to be able to say I relied on him for some way. Like, I developed this tough skin to be independent and on my own. And, I don't need a man. I want a man, and stuff like that. And in all actuality, as women, we need men for certain things, just like men need women for certain things. So in a way, it wasn't anything wrong with being able to rely on someone if I knew or experienced early on biologically that I was supposed to be able to lean on the man in my life. So I guess in a way I genuinely love them because they could give me nothing but said love. So when I dealt with these men that didn't have anything, it's like, I'm around them. They're around me. They know that they don't have anything to offer but themselves. And, we had some good times, but I still encountered violent relationships, narcissists, and toxic mofos. Even if not physical, it was emotional, which can be worse in some instances. But I was just wired in a way to think, even with all that love that I did see, that rough and tough love was love. And if it wasn't drama, it wasn't real. And honestly, I always had this fairy tale version, and I'd be with people and it'd be euphoric, but I was always an option. They'd literally leave and come back simply because they know that they could. I said that to say that women could be Beyonce, Halle, and we assume because they're financially good, and that they have a financially stable significant other, why are they complaining? Why are they mad? Men cheat and all that stuff. But why? Like, at the end of the day, I don't care if I'm a billionaire. If I feel as though my significant other should be devoted to me, then there's nothing wrong with me wanting that, and if he doesn't believe that he could do that, or if he betrays my trust in that way, then yes, that is a problem, regardless of how much he's given me. Like, money does not bring people happiness. And I say this all the time because how many people out there, millionaires right now, are going through all kinds of stuff and they have all the riches in the world. The last thing they worried about is paying their rent, their phone bill, their car note, any of the frivolous things that, us normal folk, worry about. And they're still unhappy as hell. You know what I mean? Unhappy, miserable. They can't trust nobody, nothing. And again, I'll say, right now, I do not mind working paycheck to paycheck until the day that I die, as long as I have peace of mind and my happiness, We are still human. We have emotions and feelings, and to be real, them feelings and emotions cause temporary insanity sometimes. And in some cases, and unfortunately some instances, people have ended up losing their life playing with somebody, you know? So I was just talking to one of my friends, and he used to say like he didn't have a car and nothing going for himself, but he always had women. So because he had women, he could get his other friends to come out and drive him around and all this stuff because he had said women. And then once they start chilling with said women, both women want him. You know, they don't even want to deal with the friend that drove and all the extra stuff. But why not be honest? You know, you're manipulating the situation to get what you want out of it. But, you know, like, that's somebody's feelings and emotions. Somebody will kick your ass over that. I just bought something to drink and got a room and all this extra stuff. And you don't want to chill with me. You don't want to pay me no mind. You don't want to give me no TLC or no attention. And granted, you know, you're not required to do anything for nobody. But if this is the scenario that you set up, you know, just for it to play out and it's something different, like, people get hurt over stuff like that. You go ahead and keep telling that crazy ass woman that you love her and you doing all kinds of crazy stuff with her, intimate things with her that you only should be doing with somebody that you committed to, or that's not crazy. And, you know, wondering why she busting out your windows and all that stuff. I'm a firm believer that if somebody has the same amount of stuff that you have, that they is not going to be walking around fucking your shit up. I am sorry. I am a firm believer in that. I have a place. I have a car. I ain't busting out nobody damn windows because I don't want them to bust out mine. I ain't breaking in nobody home because I don't want them breaking mine. You know what I mean? Straight like that. You lucky if you even know where I live or what kind of car I drive. I will Uber to your ass. Like, it's crazy out here. And, you know, people really think that it's a game and that people won't hurt you. And even if it's an accident, you know what I mean? I tell domestic violence survivors all the time, you know, he might love you. You know, he might love you. People love in different ways. Some people grew up with violence, so that's what they interpret love to be. But that's not to say that one day when he go to choke you and you don't wake up, that he didn't love you. Nobody's to say if you didn't wake up that it wasn't an accident. Does it change the fact that you didn't wake up? All right, then. That's all I gotta say. But, you know, no one wants to struggle. Nobody. And, you know, with happiness, it's priceless compared to money. Real love is one of the rarest things out there nowadays. Not gold and rubies. You know, you get my gist. And, this goes back to a prior episode, like, about convenience. If you're meeting people in your circle or lifestyle, why are you worried that they may be plotting to take every dime and leave you high and dry? Why automatically do we assume that if we have something, that automatically somebody is trying to take it from us? I don't get that. I don't understand. Like, it's your damn money. Ain't nobody trying to crack your bank accounts or scam you. You know what I mean? Like, all of us got our own shit, our own problems. A lot of times we pay attention to everybody else and we think everybody else paying attention to us, but they not. Everybody got their own shit. Everybody's struggling. You know what I mean? You might put more stuff out there than they do, but that don't mean they ain't struggling. People cover up struggle with lies, smiles, and filters every damn day. And if you want to be funky, all of us have did it in one way or another. All of us have been going through something or just in a shitty ass mood, and we're painting a picture, let's say on social media, that we good, we traveling, we this, we that. You put out there what you want to put out there. So don't compare yourself to what you see other people do. Don't think that your life is harder than others just because they showing you glitz and glamour, or this person's doing this for me, that for me. You don't know what that person going to do in the background. You know, like, a woman can literally be physically abusive to a man, you know, but outside they got Benzes, they got a house, they got this, they got that. And he's literally scared of a whole woman. And this man could be 6'5" and she 5'6" and he's still scared of her, you know, like, you never know. So it goes back to, it doesn't have anything to do at all with what somebody got, what they gon' get, what they inherited, none of that. Like, even with all of that stuff, can you look yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, I'm happy, I'm content, I'm complacent, I want to be here, you know? And do not get it misconstrued with people just leaving just because. Soon as soon as things get tough, it's, I don't got time for this, I'm out of here. No, I'm not saying that. Everybody has trials and tribulations. I am a firm believer that when you are dealing with someone, if you dealt with them for a long time, that you fall in and out of love. In and out of love. It's a cycle. I get that. You literally have to fall back in love with that person, but staying with them in the times where you might have fell out of love and, just focusing and remembering on all the things that made you love them in the first place. That's what counts, not just getting up and leaving because y'all don't agree on one thing. And a lot of people don't understand that it's not the woman versus the man or one significant other versus the other significant other. It is us versus everything. Us versus the world, us versus your mama, us versus everybody. Everybody. And people don't get that. It's, I'm mad at her, she mad at me, that's this, that's that. Nah, that's not how it's supposed to be. If we in this for the long run and we're going to do that, that means that we are a pair. Yes, we are who we are separately. But collectively, we are a force. Just like Neo said, I'm going to move it by myself, but we're a force when we're together. You know what I mean? When we combine, that should be a force. And nobody should be able to penetrate that force. The only person that can penetrate or ruin or break that up or fuck that up should be y'all. Nobody else. But that goes back to people wanting to keep up with the Joneses and all that extra stuff. So don't even start me. But yes, that is what I had to say about women versus men. To respond to a question, make a suggestion for an episode, or give feedback, reach out to us at shadesoftonepodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach us at Shades of Tone on Twitter, shadesoftone_podcast on Instagram, Tone Motivates on TikTok and YouTube, and of course, tonemotivates.com. As always, always love. To respond to a question, make a suggestion for an episode, to be a guest, or give feedback, reach out to us at info@tonemotivates.com. You can also find us on social media at Tone Motivates on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and at Shades of Tone _podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can find us at tonemotivates.com, where all of those links are as well.